I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. And we sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman, because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Welcome. Hello. Hello, Steve, Les, Brenda, Joey, everybody. Welcome, welcome. For those of you that are here commenting, we appreciate you. If you're here live being Thursday, April 17th, 2024, we very much appreciate you. Obviously, if you're here live and you want to comment, you comment over there. If you're here via the future, via live replay, or excuse me, via replay in the future, you comment down below. We love that. You know how to do that. And I don't know if we know what's going on here. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you for giving us a little bit of your time. It is Thursday. It's the last day of the week, unless something crazy happens. We will not be here tomorrow. We will not be here Saturday. Thank God, 2 days off. It's been a while, I think, since we've had 2 days off, so I'm happy for that. Do us the favor, get it out of the way. Go ahead, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, please do so. It doesn't cost you anything. Hit the subscription thing. Click the bell so you get notified when we go live or drop static content. We're live 5 nights a week, Thursday through Sunday. You guys know how it goes. But like today, out of the blue, we dropped a little short, a 2-minute little video for you all. And if you would have been subscribed and if you would have clicked the bell, you would have been notified of that right when it dropped. So that's a good reason to do it. All right, folks. So listen, it's Thursday. I like how I like Steve's comment there. Bilbrey's always on time. His time. That's exactly right. That is exactly right. Rush used to say that this is not a democracy, that it is a dictatorship. He's a benevolent dictator. I don't know how benevolent I am, but I'm glad that you like that. So, all right, folks, we have a lot to discuss, and we've got a lot to discuss. It's going to be great. It's going to be a fun time this evening. We've got some good things to discuss, but the fun that we're going to have, listen, it's going to be a lot of fun, but we're also going to do a lot of very important work as well, because the things that we're going to be covering tonight, while they're going to be rather funny and humorous, specifically to those of us that have been following along with what's going on, they have a very serious point to them, and so it's kind of good when that thing happens from time to time. Before we get started, I want to say last night was kind of a weird night. We had Catherine on, and Catherine and I were supposed to discuss a certain topic, things in Madison County, but we started out for a very long time going back and forth, and then towards the end, a gentleman kind of got to me, and we went back and forth with him a little bit. And I want to talk about that for a little bit. Listen, as I've always said on here, I don't need any of you to agree with me ever. You could all disagree with me. Listen, this is what I want to be able to instruct upon the world. Not my political way of thinking, but the way that I deal with it. There are lots of people that I am very friendly with that I disagree with frequently. We are able to disagree about things, and I even like to debate and get riled up and get heated. But that's fun. And so here's the thing that people need to keep in mind. I wish we lived in a world where we could talk about things, discuss, agree, disagree, and debate. Debating is fun to me. I love to debate, and I like to get riled up. But it has to be done in such a way that you can leave the debate and not be so angry and pissed off. If you get yourself worked up to the point that you don't feel well, you're not having, you're bothered and you can't just live a normal life, then you need to work on that, or maybe debate's not the right thing for you. Maybe you need to just discuss and leave it, because it shouldn't get that bad. First of all, you can't force anyone to think your way. You can say what you want to say, but you cannot force anyone to see it your way. I cannot force anyone to see it my way. We can have differing opinions and we can still get along and be just fine. We can agree or whatever. I like the people that are on here that have common sense and are able to do stuff. Now, the other thing that bothers me is when someone purposefully or I guess what I want to say is intentionally is being obtuse. And so when you say, I drink Coke because I don't like Pepsi, and someone specifically misses your words and makes that sentence say something completely different, that's a problem. And that's kind of what was happening last night. I was having a conversation with that gentleman, and I was saying, like, legally, under the law in the state of Indiana, you can do A, B, and C. And then that person would hear me say that. You can do A, B, and C. And his response back was, so you don't want people to do their jobs. You don't want their jobs. I'm like, no, what do you mean? I said legal. I'm telling you what the law is. I'm not telling you anything about, I didn't even mention job. So you're at that point, you're not listening. And I'm fine with people trolling. I'm fine with people trolling. I like that. And I don't have a problem when someone's trolling. But if someone is purposefully just being obtuse, there's nothing I can do with that, because like you're not willing to listen, you're not trying to listen, you're not even trying to make a point, because the things that you're saying aren't even about what we're talking about. So, just try to use your common sense. Not everybody's at the same place. Not everybody's at the same level. Not everybody has the same life. We don't all have the same life issues, and we've not all traveled the same road. Whatever, it is what it is. I tend to believe a certain way, and if you believe that way, great. If you don't, great. I can't force my way on you, and you're not going to force your way on me. But I think it's interesting. I always want to apply common sense to whatever's going on. That's the number one thing. That's why, David, that's the reason why, like, I have no problem arguing with Catherine, because Catherine and I it's just a point counterpoint. It's like, Catherine, the argument that Catherine and I had last night, she has no frame of reference about what was going on. She was just putting up the counterpoint. That's something those people are going to hear, that Eric's going to hear, and yada, yada, yada. So that stuff, to me, that's iron sharpening iron. It's becoming stronger and better. So that kind of stuff is good. And I like that. And so we do that here. For the people who come in here and they say, well, I thought you were a conservative. I thought you were Republican. It's funny that I'm not Republican enough for the Republicans. I'm not Democrat enough for the Democrats. I'm not MAGA enough for the MAGAs. I'm not anti-MAGA for the MAGAs. I'm never going to be able to please all of you. So what I'd rather do is piss all of you off. Okay, I'd rather piss you all off. At least you're thinking, rather than, because no one's ever going to be happy enough. It's always going to be, and then as the moment that I say that I'm not Republican enough, I'm not Democrat enough, I'm not conservative enough, I'm not liberal enough, I'm not MAGA enough, I'm not anti-MAGA, at that very moment, on the opposite side of the dial, I'm too Republican, I'm too Democrat, I'm too, and so that's the thing. The number one thing that I believe, and in my opinion, everybody on both sides should feel this way. I'm for leave me the hell alone, and I'll leave you the hell alone. No, David, again, somehow it's like you're watching the Golf Channel. You're apparently not watching this show. I stand specifically for constitutional personal values. If you're not man enough to be your own person and to be able to stand in your field, in your house, in your area, and live your life, and you feel that you have to impart yourself on me, or you believe I must impart myself on you, then that's an erring and a failing in your position. My position is, I was born here on this earth from my parents. God put me here in this country at this time, and I have a certain set of rights that my Creator gave me, and I am with those rights and with my skills and the things that my parents taught me and the schooling taught me and the Bible says and the readings I do and the videos I watch and the life I live. Those things have taught me at whatever age I am, 42, 43, 40, whatever, somewhere between 42 and 44. I have lived a life to where I believe that I am constitutionally minded. That means I go by the Constitution, by the law of God, and I believe in personal responsibility. I don't give a damn. Yeah, right there. I don't give a damn about what your problem is. I don't give a damn about what you put on me. I don't care about what you think I should be doing or what you expect of me. You don't pay my bills. I don't pay yours. I'm not responsible for you, and you're not responsible for me. So we can be friends. We can agree. We can disagree. at the end of the day, personal responsibility reigns free. Don't try to hurt me, and I won't try to hurt you. And outside of that, so yeah, like Rainwater says, I don't know about that Bilbrey for governor crap, but I do very much believe in the constitutionally libertarian side of the spectrum, and so that's that. Donald Rainwater. No, I'm a deadbeat right along with the rest of them. No, sir. I love it. I love. Good times, Don. Good times. I'm glad you're here. So that's that. No, and the last thing I'm going to say is no, I don't spend any time thinking about Sproles more or less than I do any other political figure. And when he puts himself in front of me and he does stupid stuff, I think about him. And other than that, I don't think about him. So, woo! Okay. So now tonight we're going to focus on Muncie a little bit. We've got some Muncie things to look at. So, some stuff happened in Muncie. Yeah, I know. Me too, GW. I know it's really bad. It's really bad. And again, and I made the point last night, but I want to make the point just one more time, because I got in an argument with someone today that said on Twitter that said, was talking to me about how, like, I need to give Micah Beckwith one more shot. I need to give him more chances because he is saying veto. First of all, stop, because it's already signed. So, you know, I wish I had the sad horns to play. That, you know, those horns. I wish I had that. I don't know what was that. Not Jeopardy. I don't know what it was on. It was Price is Right. Price is Right, I think. I wish I had those sad horns to play. So it's over. So we don't really have to have the argument on whether or not he is saying it. He's not still saying it because it's already signed. But I just want to make sure people are aware, back when he was saying veto it, he had signed the document himself. So save that veto for somebody who doesn't know better, I guess, Micah, because when you go in on April 15th and you sign it, you know, how serious are we supposed to take you for that veto? So I just want to make sure that people are aware that prior to the governor signing it, Micah, and a lot of people don't know, the lieutenant governor is the president of the Senate. So when you're checking on there and it says the president of the Senate signed on April 15th, that's what that means. It means Micah signed it. So that's that. Okay. Now, to Muncie we go. We're going to be taking a look at a couple of different things from Muncie. And these are things that we generally look at. None of them are very long, but they all are going to go so wonderfully together. So we're going to look at the Muncie Board of Works meeting. That happened on Wednesday. We're going to also look at the mayor of Muncie, Dan Ridenour's community update. I believe that also aired on Wednesday. And then we're going to listen to the Muncie Redevelopment Commission meeting, which took place today. And this episode 434, the title for this episode is A is for accountability, A is for asshole. And so we've got that. I think that's rather fitting, right? Right? Because I could be an asshole. You could be an asshole. We definitely could watch a couple of assholes here in a moment. So it fits. It's just whoever. It's kind of like a choose your own adventure. If you want to be the a-hole, so be it. All right. I always said stealing mixing a couple lines from movies. I always said I never knew if I was a sunshiny, happy person with asshole tendencies or if I'm an asshole with sunshiny, happy personality tendencies. And then the other thing, and probably one of my most favorite lines of any movie ever, is from the now departed Gene Hackman from Royal Tenenbaums, when he says to his grandson in the movie, I'm an asshole. That's just kind of my style. That's a line that has always went well with me. Rainwater says, Redevelopment Commission. There's a great place to eliminate budget and reform property taxes. Hey, that's really funny that you mentioned that. That type of thinking is what's going to cause the problem. So here's what I want to do. I want to show you, this is going to kind of be like Jeopardy. I'm going to show you the crazy thing that happens just right up here at front. And then we'll work to how it happened. Okay. I feel like that I'll give everybody the treat first. And then I will get to how it happened and why it happened. So I put out a short today at about 11 o'clock from the Redevelopment Commission. And you can go see this on the channel. It's called Isaac Miller Unhinged. And we all know Isaac Miller, right? Isaac Miller is one of the guys that we talk about a lot on here. He's the president of the board of the Redevelopment Commission. He's kind of the prudish little childish kind of twit, the guy that has the beard and thinks that he's special and important, and really he's not. So he has a starring role in this, and everybody's favorite Andrew Dale has a starring role in this. Okay. And now, well, we'll watch it, we'll play it, we'll go through it, and we'll see what happens here. It's a good time, okay? And if you want to see this again over and over, and I would highly recommend you go watch this over and over and over. It's only 2 minutes and 4 seconds. I would highly recommend you doing that. Alva says, were you born an asshole or did you work on it your whole life? Yes. Alva, I love it. All right, here we go. Here is this short from our collection, and a massive thank you to Isaac Miller and Andrew Dale.
Especially in light of SB1, I want to go on record stating something. And I believe that if and when a government seeks to purchase or participate in the development of property, it's incumbent upon the government to do its level best to speak with one voice from its stakeholders, the taxpayer and the citizen. The only way to ethically and meaningfully act on behalf of its stakeholders is to have first gained the support from the majority of its stakeholders. This is not done through an election, for an election doesn't speak to specific development or a purchase of a real estate or the attainment of specific outcomes on behalf of its stakeholders relative to a development, but rather through planning and community through the clarifying and powerful and demonstrable catalyst known as the strategic plan. Small businesses and large corporations strategically plan. Small nonprofits and larger nonprofits strategically plan. Ball State does it. IU Health does it. Girl Scouts do it consistently when approaching their annual sales of cookies, as well as any successful venture that one might summon to mind. If government monies are limited, and we well know that they are presently, and they're only going to become more constrictive, contrary to how this body and our mayor spends money, then we must take the time to effectively plan for the most favorable results with our state, which our stakeholders deserve. for the best possible results. I'm just about done. I'm done in 1 minute.
I'm calling point of order.
Please.
Do your comments have anything to do with our business today?
Yeah, they do. It has everything to do with our business today. Okay. So I'm just going to finish with this too. I'm going to finish with this. The bottom line is that we can't do things for our stakeholders in the absence of engagement. Rather, we should do things which our stakeholders deem appropriate and worthwhile and beneficial to our community. You've got a problem, dude.
I don't have.
You've got a problem. You do not allow fair governance to happen. You're constrictive.
I'm very fair.
You're very constrictive.
I've let you make comments all the time.
Okay. Where to start? So, that beating of the gavel, like, it was very, very similar to, like, it took me back to Bob McCoy days. You know, that was some pretty hardcore gaveling. That was some Bob McCoy level insanity.
Now we are.
So the Muncie Redevelopment Commission is made up of 5 voting members. Okay, there's 5 voting members. There is 1 non-voting member. And then there is the MRC director. All right, Jeff Howell is the MRC director. He is the guy that Ridenour pays a contract salary to, out of edit money, by the way, to show up and read his notes to the MRC. Isaac Miller, the guy with the gavel, he's the MRC president, although he shouldn't be. Shireen Wegley, which I commonly refer to as Shireen Kardashian. You'll hear from her. She's the one that has the talk vocal fry. I just don't understand who can stand that voice, man. I couldn't do it all day. She's on the board. She's the mayor. She's Isaac Miller's a mayoral appointment. Shireen is a mayoral appointment. She's also the mayor's secretary, gatekeeper thing all day long. So a lot of people question whether or not she should really be on the board. Steve Pribella is the other mayoral appointment. He basically is just there for a yes vote. He really never says anything, does anything. He's just there. Then Zane Bishop is the younger guy in the white like sweater thing there. He is the council appointment, and Andrew Dale is a council member. Is the council appointment, and he's the bald-headed guy. And then James Lowe is the non-voting member. Okay, so this happened. This 2 minutes that you just watched were the last 2 minutes of the meeting. A meeting that was shorter than most. Most MRC meetings are at least an hour, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. So this was a shorter meeting. And the business was done. Okay, so I want to be really clear about the fact that the business of the meeting was done. So everyone is aware of kind of what happened. We're gonna watch different parts of the meeting here in a moment. We're not gonna watch the whole thing from start to finish. You can go and you can watch that on your own, but we are gonna watch a couple of different parts. But so everyone is kind of understanding of how everything goes down. First and foremost, I've got to give Muncie City Council credit, and really even the Board of Works. They've had some hiccups, but Muncie, no matter what's right or wrong with Muncie, they always do very well of allowing the citizenry to be heard at meetings. If you choose to go, you have opportunities to speak. Except for the MRC. The MRC wants to shorten your time to 2 minutes. They only want to give you 2 minutes to speak. And they try to really curtail what you're going to speak about. Matter of fact, they put on the agenda. Well, let's go look at the agenda for this meeting so we can kind of get a look at what was going on. So everyone is aware. Here is the agenda for the meeting that took place today. Muncie Redevelopment Commission meeting, regular meeting, April 17th, 9 a.m., City Hall. Call to order, Isaac Miller. Roll call, Isaac Miller. Agenda, Isaac Miller. Action required. Approval of the previous meeting memoranda, Isaac Miller. Action required. Claims, Craig Wright. Report from the city, Jeff Howell. Financial positions update. Updates, other business, property purchase application, a Muncie land bank update, public comment, 2 minutes each speaker. Okay. Now, what's really interesting to me here is it says commissioner comments. Yeah, yes, he is by quite a bit, by quite a bit, Space Cat. He is the youngest person on the board. Commissioner comments. And then it has over to the side, limited to items before the MRC per this agenda. Now, this is really odd because if you notice, the very next thing is adjournment. So by the time they get to the commissioner comments, all of the agenda items are done. And more or less, when they've done all of these agenda items, all of the council members have already said everything that they want to say. Matter of fact, I want to go back really briefly. I should have done this ahead of time. I'm going to go really quickly to the agenda of the Muncie Board of Works meetings. Yeah, yes. Oh, Don, absolutely. Yes, sir. Something that we've griped about for a very, very long time. The fact that these meetings are listen, there was a Muncie Board of Works meeting that's on Wednesdays at 9 a.m. The meeting lasted for 1 minute and 50 seconds. 1 minute and 50 seconds, like 2 weeks ago. So tell me how you could be a citizen participating in that. You walk in the door at 9 o'clock, at 9 minutes and 30 seconds, and by the time you get to your seat, the meeting is adjourned?
Well, not just that, but in that 1 minute and 50 seconds, how much discussion is there when they're spending $1,021,000?
Yeah. That's that right. Very, 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 very little. Very, very little to none. And yeah, in that 1 minute and 50 seconds, they also approved the claims for $1,021,367, which is absolutely asinine. Just wild. Just wild, honestly. So, okay, I'm almost here to where I want to be. I'm just clicking here into the yes. So I want you guys to see this. Here is an old agenda for the MRC, and this is before Isaac was the president and before Andrew Dale was on the MRC. I want you to look at this. This is very telling. The commissioner comments section says commissioner comments, period. Going back to the commissioner comments from today, and it's been this way for a while, and the reason being is they are trying to curtail any matter of fact. We're going to go back and listen to it. You hear Isaac right before he starts beating the gavel saying something about criticism. And I can only imagine he's saying like, this is not for criticism, or they don't want to hear criticism. And that is completely the wrong way to go about this. So they've put this on here, limited to items before the MRC per this agenda. Hey, son, the agenda items have all been taken care of, have all been rectified. You do not control the First Amendment right of anyone speaking, any of your other fellow board members or any of the public. So I think that this is really funny. I think that this is funny. It's very telling. So now I want to go back and I want to listen to this meeting again and listen to what happened here. And then we're going to kind of go through it. But I want you guys to listen to what I believe. I want you to listen to a couple different parts
stating
here.
Something. And I believe that if and when a government seeks to purchase or participate
Plan. Yes. Sorry, I should have clarified that.
stating something. And I believe, make sure.
Yeah, right.
Okay. All right. So let me back up. I'm gonna go a little bit before where my video started. Okay. So here we go.
Isaac, map is Muncie action
Plan. Yes. Sorry, I should have clarified that.
He just asked for public comments, or he's getting ready to.
So if I have anything to update you on, I will certainly do that. That's all I've got.
And there was no public comments. And they've all went through and they've all said whether they had anything to say or not. No one had anything to say other than Isaac Miller. After Isaac Miller finished, Andrew Dale, all right, they look at each other and this is what happens.
You got anything?
Anything?
Nobody else? I do.
Go
I
ahead.
just want to make sure.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think
Andrew Dale has something and he wants to say it. Now, look, it's a prepared statement. And I've heard some people saying, that's not right. He shouldn't have had a prepared statement. Why? You want him to just go off the cuff? He has the same authority, ability to be up there and to speak that any one of the other redevelopment commissioners have. And listen, I don't agree with Andrew on nearly anything that he talks about on a national political level. We are two different sides. We are two different sides politically, nationally. But when we're talking about local politics, there are loads of things that I agree with. Hey, look, Audie's entered the chat. Hello, Audie. Here's the issue back in the day, 214, all the Dems turned Republican because they couldn't win 2014 or 11. These Republicans are former Dems that never changed. Well, that's a very good possibility. So, all right. Andrew Dale has a prepared statement, and he's normally, he tends to use bigger words, and this is Andrew's style. You don't have to like it, but you don't, and you can't shut him down. Okay. So, Karen, that's a good possibility. Who knows? I hope they are. I hope they're still around. So let's listen to this.
especially in light of SB 1,
In light of SB 1, Senate Bill 1, which just got signed, and everybody and every board is talking about it. It's something that Ridenour has been pulling his hair out about and concerned about. And it's something that the Redevelopment Commission should definitely talk about. So this is something of importance. Let's go on.
I want to go on record with stating something. And I believe that if and when a government seeks to purchase or participate in the development of property, it's incumbent upon the government to do its level best to speak with one.
Oh, stand by. Oh, well, hold on. I want to send something really quickly to see if I might be able to get. Give me 1 second. Hit the Ah. Hold on, I have to send it with my phone. For some reason that's not going through. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to see if I can get a copy of Andrew's words that he was trying to read. Would it be possible for you to send me a copy of the words that you were trying to read at the meeting this morning? I don't know why I didn't get that. I should have got that earlier. I didn't think about that. So we'll try to get those words. I don't know what Andrew was trying to speak on. I have no clue what he was trying to speak. I mean, I know what he's talking about here, but I don't know what he was saying, what he didn't get to say. I don't know what he didn't get to say. So I feel like I know where he's going. I can only assume if he sends me those words, or if he's able to, I will read those to you if he so permits that. If not, he's going to send them to me right now. So we'll go ahead and listen to this. Thank you. We'll go ahead and listen to this, and then I'll let you hear what he said. All right, so we'll back this up just a hair.
To make sure.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, especially in light of SB1, I want to go on record with stating something. And I believe that if and when a government seeks to purchase or participate in the development of property, it's incumbent upon the government to do its level best to speak with one voice from its stakeholders, the taxpayer and the citizen. The only way to ethically and meaningfully act on behalf of its stakeholders is to have first gained the support from the majority of its stakeholders. This is not done through an election, for an election doesn't speak to specific development or a purchase of a real estate or the attainment of specific outcomes on behalf of its stakeholders relative to a development, but rather through planning and community, through the clarifying and powerful and demonstrable catalyst known as the strategic plan. Small businesses and large corporations strategically plan. Small nonprofits and larger nonprofits strategically plan. Ball State does it. IU Health does it. Girl Scouts do it consistently when approaching their annual sales of cookies, as well as any successful venture that one might summon to mind. If government monies are limited, and we well know that they are presently, and they're only going to become more constrictive, contrary to how this body and our mayor spends money, then we must take the time to effectively plan for the most favorable results with which our stakeholders deserve.
Mr.
For the
Dale,
best
Mr.
possible results.
Mr.
I'm
Dale,
just about done.
I'm
done in 1 minute.
I'm calling
done.
point of order.
Please.
Do your comments have anything to do with our business today?
Yeah, they do. It has everything to do with it.
Listen, the comments being read have to. Thank you. The comments being read have to do with Senate Bill 1, and in my opinion, a situation which just recently occurred. So now we'll pause this here because there's more that goes on. Obviously, you guys have seen that, but I'm going to go ahead and read you these statements here. Okay. And this statement is from Andrew Dale. I literally live just requested you watch it happen live, and Andrew said that he would send it to me, and I appreciate that. So he's got some rewrites here, so I'm going to try my best. So he says, in light of SB1, I want to go on record and state that if or when government seeks to purchase or participate in the development of property, it's incumbent upon the government to do its best to speak with one voice from its stakeholders, the taxpayers and citizens. The only way to ethically, I can't see what he said there, ethically act on behalf of its stakeholders is to have first gained the support from the majority of its stakeholders. This is not done through an election, for an election doesn't speak to a specific development or purchase of real estate or the attainment of specific outcomes on the behalf of its stakeholders relative to a development, but through planning in community, through the clarifying and powerful and demonstrable catalyst known as the strategic plan, which is something that Andrew has talked about for a very long time. Small businesses and large corporations strategically plan. Small nonprofits to large nonprofits strategically plan. Ball State University does it. IU Health does it. Girl Scouts do it consistently when approaching their annual selling of cookies, as well as any successful venture one might summon to mind. Now, this is about the point where he was interrupted. If government monies are limited and they are, I can't see. And they are, contrary to how this body and our mayor spends money, when we must take the time to then we must take the time to effectively plan for the most favorable results which our stakeholders deserve. For that best possible for the best possible results. The bottom line is we can't do things for the stakeholders in the absence of engagement. Rather, we should do things which our stakeholders deem appropriate and worthwhile and beneficial for our community. Okay? So, again, and he had scribbled over that and made some comments. That's what I couldn't see there. He had it written out on a piece of paper, and then he had made some additional notes to it. That's what I was having trouble seeing. So, listen, without talking to him and without knowing, and I believe what that means to me, what I hear him saying there, he's not crazily like attacking Dan and going after the mayor, and he's not being an asshole. He's not cutting down on the mayor. He disagrees with the mayor. There's nobody that doesn't know that. Mayor Ridenour and Andrew Dale disagree with one another. That's not a secret. And in politics, the mayor's going to do things to further his agenda, and Andrew Dale is going to do things to further his agenda. Both of these men feel they are working for the citizens, I would hope. Maybe Andrew, or maybe Dan Ridenour thinks he's serving himself or whatever. Andrew believes he's trying to do the best for the community. Their opinions may differ. All right. And I'm not saying which one's right or wrong. I have lots of disagreements with Dan Ridenour and how he's done things. Lots and lots and lots and lots. And I agree with Andrew that if we're going to have this MRC, it needs to be, along with everything else within the mayor's administration, needs to be ran in a way that they're doing the level best for what the majority of our citizens want. And I feel that this is probably in response to what happened at the beginning of this month when the city council and the mayor and the public and the police and the fire were at odds over $500,000 in opioid settlement money that the administration wanted to go to police and fire raises, and the citizens and some of the council members, and it seemed like a large percentage of the people speaking, wanted those to stay in the opioid settlement. And they said you could have or should have used the $600,000 from the edit money that you used to buy the building for your raises and left the opioid settlement money alone. That's my belief. Now, I read that to you in under a minute. It's not 2 pages. It's not 5 pages. It's not 10 pages. It's not 2 pages. It's 1 page. 1 page. 1 page. Not even a full page. If you pushed everything together, it's 3/4 of a page. If Isaac Miller would have kept his cool and just let Andrew Dale finish reading that, first of all, they would seem transparent. And more than likely, nobody, save for myself, well, my audience, and a few people would know what's going on. However, Isaac Miller decided to show his ass today and do this absolutely ignorant thing. And now everybody in Muncie and Delaware County knows about it. Everybody. Muncie Redevelopment Commission member Isaac Miller has been, and will always be nothing more than a childish twit. His unhinged and deranged behavior today should warrant his removal from the MRC by Muncie Mayor Dan Ridenour. I'm going to be very clear. Dan should remove him from the Redevelopment Commission tomorrow. He should already be removed. Maybe we're waiting for Dan to release a statement. I'm hoping that's the case. However, given how this administration values accountability just as much as it values transparency, I'm sure nothing will be said or done. Worse yet, I think this behavior will more than likely be applauded by the Dan addicts. Like Andrew Dale or not, hate him if you want, agree with Andrew Dale or not, the treatment that Mr. Dale received from Miller was wildly uncalled for. The most striking aspect of what occurred in this meeting is how it reveals Miller's lack of understanding, lack of foresight, lack of forethought, and moreover, lack of self-control. Had he just let Dale finish the last minute, and now that I've seen Andrew's words, I know that Andrew had another 30 seconds. Had he allowed him to finish the last 30 seconds of his prepared statement, very few people outside of myself and a few other hardcore politicos would know anything about what Dale said. But because Miller chose to shit in his hands, smear it down his front, and throw the rest at the walls, and then continued to flail his ever so tiny gavel back and forth, beating it on the lectern like an ape, like some freak. Because of that, everybody knows. They know what Dale was saying, and moreover, they know how ignorant, petulant, and unserious Miller is. Moreover, they are aware that this is just another arm of the administration silencing dissent. Let's listen again to what Isaac says here. Let's listen again to what Isaac says right here. It's really crazy. Listen to what happens. I'm going to back it up, and we'll look at everything that happens here. All right. Andrew's talking.
Girl Scouts do it consistently when approaching their annual.
And you can see
sales
that Isaac is looking at his paperwork and trying to determine where he's at. He's trying to determine where he's at. And I mean, honestly, he should easily have been able to see that he had a few sentences left. But watch.
As well as any successful venture that one might
All right, you see Isaac's eyes come up. We now see Isaac's eyes come up. You saw them. They were looking down, then they came up. This is his contempt. He's sitting there thinking, oh, God, this guy's so stupid. And, he's just, whatever Isaac's thinking. Isaac is such a turd, man. He is such a small-minded person, but he's it's just so contemptuous. And I don't know. He's just such a little ratty, beady-eyed creature. I cannot deal with it. But look at the contempt he has for Andrew here. Now watch what happens from here.
to mine. If government monies are limited,
He rolled his eyes, and now he's back down to the paper.
and we well know that they are presently, and they're only going to become more constrictive, contrary to how this body and our mayor spends money, then we must take the time to effectively
Okay. Now, as soon as he mentioned the mayor's name, Isaac now looks over. He's got a smile, and he's letting the other mayoral appointments know, I'm going to shut this down.
plan for the most favorable results with our state.
Now he's breathing, and here he goes. Nothing's happening. He's getting ready to pick up his gavel. Watch what happens here.
Which our stakeholders deserve.
Mr.
For the
Dale,
best
He knew what he was going to do before he even started this. To me, this is even less than just going unhinged. This was planned out by Miller, which makes him even more crazy. Now he's already cut up Mr. Dale,
best possible results.
Mr. Dale,
and he says his name a couple times, and Andrew's like, let me hear where Andrew's at.
Just about done.
I'm calling.
I'm done in 1 minute.
I'm calling
done.
point of order.
Please.
Okay, he says, I'm calling point of order. Well, he didn't say it at that point. He should have not said anything. He should have said point of order. And Andrew stopped. You hear how Andrew stopped and looked at him? All right, I'm going to hear what you're saying. Point of order. What's going on? So he calls point of order.
Your comments have anything to do with our business today?
Do your comments have anything to do with our business today? Well, let me go back to this agenda, okay? The agenda was already done by this point. Keep that in mind. Keep in mind that the agenda was already done. But on today's agenda, they paid claims with taxpayer money. They did a report from the city where Jeff Howard, under the report from the city, financial position is on the agenda under claims. Andrew Dale is speaking about financial positions within the city. They're talking about property purchase applications, Muncie Land Bank. Yes, this absolutely fit the agenda. All right, that's first and foremost. All right, let's continue on.
Yeah, they do. It has everything to do with our business today. So I'm just going to finish with this two.
Okay, then he says, I'm just going to finish with, and I think he literally only had 2 lines left. And now listen to what Isaac says here.
I'm going to finish with this.
Criticism. So I don't know where he's going. I mean, we can only assume where he was going with that. Criticism's not allowed. Criticism won't be allowed. Criticism of the mayor has to stop. Criticism will get you beheaded. I don't know where Isaac was going. But we can just let our imaginations run wild. Okay? So what happens next?
Bottom line is that we can't do things.
I called point of order. And because I've called point of order, even though we've clarified it, that gives, right now I'm going to bang the gavel.
Mr.
For our
Dale, I have
stakeholders
called
of the absence
point of
of
order.
engagement. Rather,
Okay,
we should
this
do
meeting-
things.
And now this meeting is adjourned. Now I decide this meeting's adjourned. Okay? This is embarrassment. Ridenour shut down comments on the city's Facebook page because he didn't want the Facebook page to be an embarrassment. But yet Ridenour appoints idiots like this. If the agenda had commissioners' comment section, then the commissioners' comments were the agenda. Yes, that's absolutely correct. And I also want to read this other comment by Don up here. Let me see. Freedom of speech protects the speech you don't like just as much as speech that you do like from government censorship. Absolutely. Now listen, because it's not just Isaac that's getting involved with this. Shireen Kardashian down here, the mayor's gatekeeper, she's involved too. Listen, you can see she's got a smug face. She loves this because she hates Andrew Dale. She hates Andrew Dale. And there's like Isaac just might not like him and will battle him. Shireen hates him because that's where we are in the world. Democrats hate Republicans. Republicans hate Democrats. We hate human beings because of ideas. And that's a problem. Okay, listen.
Which our stakeholders deem appropriate and worthwhile and beneficial.
Shireen looks to the cameraman and says, turn it off. Turn it off. Silence this fool. Turn it off.
To our community. You've got a problem, dude.
I don't.
To which Andrew Dale finishes his statement, puts his papers up, and calmly looks over at Isaac and says, you've got a problem, dude. Absolutely. Like, I would think he's dangerous. What happens next time? Does Isaac just bash Andrew in the head with the gavel? I mean, what he was doing with that gavel, once again, like Ben Gale, like Bob McCoy, it looked unhinged. It really looked unhinged. And if he can't control himself any better than that, I'm calling on Ridenour to pull him off. Next meeting, Miller will show up with Bob's gavel. Absolutely. They just trade that around. Now, I know that there are several citizens that have reached out to the Ridenour administration, and I can tell you, I know that they're making fun of everyone that's reaching out to him. The Ridenour administration is making fun of the people who have problems with this. They are literally making fun of people who have an issue with Isaac's behavior. So I understand that. Charlize says, I still have not received the response to the text of the mayor. Charlize sent me earlier in the day the response to the text of the mayor. And I want to read the text Charlize sent. Give me a second. Dan, as a citizen of Muncie, Isaac's outburst at the end of the MRC meeting was entirely out of line. As a mayoral appointment, I would expect him to receive some coaching from you. A freedom of speech violation such as his is not a good look for the commission or the city. And, of course, Ridenour has refused to respond. I know that there are several other citizens that have made posts about this. There are several other citizens that have said things about this, it's really pretty telling. One comment says professionalism is needed in meetings that are executing the work on the public's behalf, no matter how he feels about Mr. Dale. And every meeting shows the disdain the administration and its appointments have for anyone not directly affiliated with them. The lack of respect shown today is a lack of respect for the people of this community and what they deserve when fulfilling the responsibilities on their behalf. Another person says, I saw that child's public tantrum this morning. He needs to be removed from the commission immediately. There is no place for behavior like that from a public leadership position. He reminded me of the guy who took a hammer to Nancy Pelosi's husband's head. So out of control. Let's see here. Another person says, Mayor Dan Ridenour, I have attached the last few minutes of today's MRC meeting. I have serious concerns about the behavior of MRC President Isaac Miller. He comes across very immature, not objective, not willing to listen to other commissioners. Then banging his gavel 6 or 7 times on the podium is inappropriate. He seems to be out of control. I would suggest that you reconsider his appointment to this commission. We need to have a confidence in those who are making important decisions for our city. Thank you, Jackie Fisher. That's pretty damning. Listen, if Isaac gives a damn about his mayor or his city, he should step down. If Ridenour won't remove him, if Ridenour is gutless and won't remove him, Isaac should step down and do his mayor a solid, because I'm lost. I'm lost. Mayor Bob, when he beat the gavel, we had to wait a couple of years to be able to vote him out. Ben Gale, when he beat the gavel like that, we had to wait until he didn't run for election to get rid of him. Isaac Miller, man, he can be gone tomorrow. No ifs, ands, or buts, or questions about it. Ridenour can go in there and remove him, replace him with someone that should have better temperament. Constipation may cause issues, as this. Yeah, right. I like it. So, I don't know. I think it's wild. It's wild to see. And you know why he has this such disdain for him? Because every meeting starts and Andrew says, well, the minutes aren't correct because you're not putting everything down that happens. All I'm asking is for transparency. I'm just asking for transparency here. Literally, this hate is coming because Dale is asking for transparency. And I'm floored. Behavior like this is always crazy to me, because like other people don't. Yes. Rainwater. Hey, that's what I got arrested for in Winchester, speaking up, saying that very same thing, that very statement. Here it is. This is my actual words from the night of the arrest. You're out of order. This whole place is out of order. This is a joke. You're out of order. This whole place is out of order. This is a joke. And then they threw me into a wall and arrested me. But I digress. So that's that. So here's the thing. It's not even Yeah, Charlize, Andrew is simply asking for what this administration campaigned on. That's the thing. It was Dan that said transparency, accountability, communication, yada, 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 yada. Remember, I said those words. And it's been a very, very long time since we put these up. Good thinking, Kate. Great minds think alike. Dan ran on these 6 principles: improve communication, improve transparency, improve accountability, slow government down, improve relationships between the city and the county, and put the best people in place. And I'm telling you, he has not done a damn one of them. Matter of fact, he's even worked his ass off going in the other direction. And it's truly, truly crazy. So I don't know, maybe A isn't for accountability. Maybe that's not the case. Like I said, maybe A is for asshole. I think that very, very well could be. It's nuts. And the thing is, it's funny because in my statement that I wrote and that I read to you and I stated earlier, I would expect certain things from Ridenour because of this. and how they would handle this. But given how this administration values transparency and accountability, and look, it was just this week that this to me is an accountability. Well, it's behind the scenes, it's a transparency issue, but this whole thing and how it's going to be handled or not handled is going to be an accountability issue. But it was just yesterday that Ridenour made a statement on transparency. Okay. And so now I want to go to the city of Muncie, and I want to look at the Muncie Mayor Dan Ridenour's community update that he put up. I guess so this was from yesterday. It was from yesterday. I started to think maybe it was even Tuesday, but no, this was from yesterday. So I want to put this up and show you what I'm talking about here as far as his comments on transparency. And let's listen to how weird this is.
Hello, Muncie. This is Dan Ridenour, your mayor. Today is Wednesday. It is April 16th. And just have a couple things we want to go over, really not a whole lot, but I think it's pretty big news. So would like to share some information. So after last week's update, I've had a number of people reach out and say that they were very appreciative because they didn't know how much information we have put out and attempt to put out. So one of the things that we're going to do going forward.
What? Like, I don't even know what kind of weirdness he just said there. Like, I mean, so does that show him how not transparent he is? That the people that actually reach out and that he's able to respond to, because he doesn't respond to criticism. You heard Isaac start to say it. You know, we don't like criticism. We won't listen to criticism. No criticism. But Ridenour doesn't respond to criticism. So of the people that like him and that he likes, they're telling him, hey, we didn't know you actually do work.
To put out. So one of the things that we're going to do going forward is we're going to take the emails that we send to update the council, if it's to the entire council. So it could be an update on maybe some things that'll be on the agenda for the next council meeting. It could be an update on streets, an update on some construction projects. When we do anything to the entire council, we're going to put that on the City of Muncie Facebook, the City of Muncie website. And here's one of the reasons.
Wait. On the Facebook or on the website? Which one is it? Well, it's not Facebook, and here's what happens.
We have placed a lot of this on Facebook, but many people don't use Facebook.
No. I've never seen the mayor post emails that he sent the council on Facebook. I've never seen that. I've never witnessed that. But listen to what he starts to say here. Okay.
And we as a city are trying to get information out there. And so we figure if we can put it on the website and make it available and it stays there, it's available, you can scroll through and find it, that might be a way for people to be able to see some of the updates that we're already sending to the council. So I'll just give you an example. If you go to muncie.in.gov, now don't do this, we're going to start doing this now. But if you will going forward, go to muncie.in.gov and you scroll down to the section that says recent news. We have tended to put just press releases on there. So we've always posted our press releases so that they're there and available to the public. Well, we're going to place these 8 emails that are updates to the council as well, just so in case something maybe was sent in February, we want to make sure it gets remembered in April. And if it's there, we believe that'll be a better place than putting it on Facebook. We're still going to post things to Facebook. Like we recently posted about the East Side Wawa store that's under construction, which is one of the 2 that.
Why not post these both to Facebook and the website? Post them on Facebook and the website. Post them on both places. Meet the government. Meet the citizens where they are. Government. Meet the citizens where they are. Some of them are on some of them on Facebook. Some of them only go to the website. Meet them everywhere.
It's being built. But for those who are not on Facebook, they may not even see that or may not know what is going up in that particular location. So we have this as one of the pieces that we're going to do going forward. So all those emails that are to the entire council, we will place on there on the website so that you can see them as a public. We feel like that is a great way to share with you what's going on with the city. And it stays in a place where you don't have to be on Facebook, or you don't have to be on X, or you don't have to be on some other site in order to get the information. You go to our website, muncie.in.gov, and go to recent news, and you'll be able to see it there. Now, it only shows 3, so you'll have to press the, let's see what it says. I'm sorry, I should have it ready. More recent news. So after, it only shows 3, and then more recent news, and then it will show a whole list of all of them in order by date. So this is a way that we're trying to better communicate with the public and better communicate just in general. So we're excited about that. It's one of some other things that are coming. We've got some other additions to the website that we're putting into play that are just not quite ready yet. But it's all of these are in a way to better communicate with the public. And we're excited to do that. So just wanted to give you that brief update for today. Hope you have a great week, and I'll talk to you next time.
So, like, look, I guess this is cool. I guess, like, cool. It's like, going over my grandparents, and they're like washing the car while it's raining. Like, oh, all right. I mean, this is good. This is cool. But what? Like,
How often do you go on the website?
I'm not normal. You can't, a lot, but normal people don't.
Yeah, but why are you going on the website?
Because I'm searching for shit.
Yes, you're looking for public record, right?
Well, no, because normally public records aren't on there. So kind of. I get what you're saying. Like I go on there looking for the things. Yeah,
the audits.
Yeah, that's fair.
And various things like that.
Yeah.
How often does a regular citizen who's not
normal
like us go on a city's Facebook page?
No,
when they're looking for a job, maybe.
No, they don't even really post. I mean, maybe. And then at that point, they don't care about the emails. It's like, this is very strange. Like, don't put it on the website, put it on Facebook. But he's like, people don't use Facebook. Let me tell him why people don't use Facebook. Because he's changing how a lot of people used to utilize the city's Facebook page. It had high traffic. It was utilized a lot. You're not a normal person, Tweety. You're one of us. I mean, you might stand way over there. You're not like with us, but you're like over there, but you're not normal. You're one of us. No one on here is normal. We're all freaks. I'm trying to talk about the people that they're not normally reaching. The people that they need to be reaching. Listen, let me tell you something. You know what keeps me up at night? You want to know what keeps me up all hours of the day and keeps me wired and doing, like, literally the number one thing I think about is engagement. How to bring more people into the conversation. How to grow the audience. It's weird that he doesn't think about that. If I was an elected official, my single solitary thought would be, how do I get this information to as many people as possible. How do we do this? And I can't, for the life of me, understand why he doesn't care any more than he does. Most political figures don't, and it kills me. And yeah, Tweety Bird, that's right. I tend to think that's more of a national thing. I think locally, I mean, I don't see like droves of people leaving Facebook. I think locally, there's still a lot of people on Facebook. And all they did with creating the communications site was split it, and now people don't understand what they got to do. They do this, they do that. And so that's the issue. So, we see how they muddle up transparency. Even when they're trying to be transparent, they screw it up. It's such a screw up, even when they're trying. They're like, look at us. And it's just completely fouled up. So thank you, Mayor. Thank you. Dan's like, hello, guys. You want to know something exciting we're doing here at City Hall? Well, not now. Don't go there now, but starting at some point in the future, we're going to start putting three carefully handcrafted emails that we craft carefully that won't say anything of any value. We are going to start putting those up on MySpace on the third Thursday of each month that begins with the letter W. So go to MySpace and find us there, because we are transparent. I feel like that's what he just did. So thank you. Thank you for that, Mayor. It's so frustrating. Like sometimes I wonder, like I really, really, really wonder who is driving the ship up there. Okay, so now we're going to go and take a look at the Muncie Board of Works meeting, and this was from Wednesday. Okay, and so we're going to look at this, and oh, looky here. I mean, they in the last month, they have met less than a total of 15 minutes. They have not even met 15 minutes. This freaking meeting is, well, the video is 3 minutes and 27 seconds. So let's find out.
Good morning, everyone.
All right, 33 seconds.
Everyone, and welcome to the April 16th meeting of the Muncie Board of Public Works and Safety. If you'd please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Whoa, they're all there.
Of the United States of America.
We get all of
And to the
them.
republic for which it
this time.
stands,
One
Oh.
nation, under
All right,
God,
Kate says
indivisible, with
740,000.
liberty and justice for all. Well, welcome to all those in attendance and all those online. Could we have roll call, please?
Seth Baker.
Present.
Lowenauer.
Present.
Linda Gregory.
Present.
Thank you very much, Lacey. We have the minutes from April 9th meeting presented. Do we have a motion to approve as presented?
Yeah, I move approval of the April 9th minutes as presented.
And I'll second.
Okay, any comments or questions? Thank you again for presenting these wonderfully, Lacey. Okay, any other comments or questions? No? Okay, having none.
Aaron.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carried. Thank you very much. And then also we have the register of claims that have been presented to us by Craig Wright, the city controller. Craig?
Good morning.
Morning.
Sent out the claims yesterday afternoon and
Yay.
pretty light this week. So we had our usual healthcare utilities. And with that, I'll open up any questions you might have.
Linda?
I have none.
Hold on.
None, thank you.
Okay, and I don't either. I spent a good amount of time just going through each of them. Like I think we all do, trying to make sure we look at any accountability issues and just any questions that we have. But this week's claim register was pretty much in order. So thank you very
Great
much.
detail.
Yeah.
When you say 274,000 is light.
Now I know. You know, most of these, like,
How much?
most of these are, contractual, most of these, yeah. So those are some things, but again, it's always good to have an extra set of eyes on them, and that's what we do. So do we have a motion to approve the minute, or the claims?
I move approval of the claims as presented.
Second.
Okay, any comments or questions? Okay, having none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay.
Thank you.
Do we have any other order of business? It's a very light agenda today.
Again.
Again, any other order of business? Okay, having none, the meeting is adjourned.
3:03. Okay. So um three. Okay, yeah. So right at three. Yeah, it was. This meeting lasted for 3 minutes and 3 seconds. And how much did they? How much? 2 minutes and 29 seconds. Yeah, that's all right. Close. 2 minutes 29. And how much was the claims?
Going through each of them, like I think we.
Healthcare utilities. And with that, I'll open up pretty light this week.
The city controller, Craig.
Good morning.
Morning.
Sent out the claims yesterday afternoon and
Yay.
pretty light this week. So we had our usual healthcare utilities. And with that, I'll open up any questions you might have.
Linda?
I have none.
Hold on.
None, thank you.
Okay, and I don't either. I spent a good amount of time just going through each of them. Like I think we all do, trying to make sure we look at any accountability issues and just any questions we have. But this week's claim register was pretty much in order. So thank you very much.
Great detail.
Yeah.
When you say 274,000 is light.
Now I know. You know, most of these are, contractual, most of these, yeah. So those are some things, but again, it's always good to have an extra set of eyes on them, and that's what we do. So do we have a motion to approve the minute, or the claims?
I move approval of the claims as presented.
Yeah.
Second.
Okay, any comments or questions?
273,809.47.
Aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Do we have any other order of business? It's a very light agenda today.
Again.
Again, any other order of business?
So that's what it was. So that's quick. I mean, they don't even do anything anymore. It's insane to me what goes on at these meetings. What goes on at these meetings? My grandpa's just like, I can't understand it. I just can't understand it. So that's that. Yeah. Tweety Bird said, asked me if I was familiar with the election board meeting for Delaware County. Yes, ma'am. That meeting is set for 2 p.m. on the Thursday, the 24th of this month, April, 2 p.m., second floor of the Delaware County building. And they will go over the roll call, approval of minutes, approval of the contracts for board lawyer, a discussion on vote center plan and location and adjournment. I will be going to this because I'm very interested in what goes on with this vote center plan and location. They've been fighting and fighting and fighting vote centers. We need vote centers. It needs to be done right, but we need vote centers. I want this. I'm a big supporter of this, and so I will be going there and be in attendance. I'll let you know as we get closer if I'm going to live stream it or not. I might just static record it, and then if anything happens, be able to show it to you. But yeah, so I'll keep you guys posted on this and let you know. This meeting is coming up quickly, and so that'll be on the 24th. For those that were interested, there was an election board meeting in Madison County today. Catherine did go to the election board meeting. I started to watch the election board meeting, and then someone called me, and I was unable to watch because I was in the middle of a phone call. So I'm actually going to have to go back and watch it. The election board meeting in Madison County today was an hour and 24 minutes, and I have not talked to Catherine since. So I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Yeah, Stumblefoot, I know. They're always dicey. So you never really know. Before we wrap up, we've been talking about the whole meeting, so it's not like I'm going to bring your attention over to this. I again want to talk about Isaac. We're talking about Tweety Bird. I want to Spangler and I go back and forth. Oh yeah, we were flashing this on the screen. Obviously that we know the mayor Dan loves TNA is obviously transparency and accountability. Wah wah, so we got jokes around here. So that's that. Just in closing, I just want to say that Ridenour needs to remove Miller ASAP. He needs to be removed. Dan, don't screw around with this. Listen to the audio. I mean, what do you want? You want 100 people to show up at the next MRC meeting and tell you? I'm sure we can work to make it happen. It needs to have. Isaac Miller needs to not lead another meeting. He broke the trust today. The very little trust that anyone placed in him. You might be okay with him, and your sycophants might be okay with him, but thank God you and your sycophants aren't the only people that make up the city of Muncie. There are other people here, and there are more people here than your sycophants. And I think that the people that are out here, their trust, the trust was lost. Whatever limited trust there was in Isaac Miller is lost. He is a child. He's not a leader. He's not a man. His actions today were disgusting. And if he can't control himself, and if he can't see there's an issue and remove himself, then you have to step up and do it. And I'll flip it around. If Ridenour can't be man enough to remove Isaac, you might have to remove yourself. Whoever does it, one of you needs to do it. Someone needs to do it, but do it. And that's all I got to say. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for being here. There are stuff that is currently still spinning about good old Sproles. I was contacted today by some people in the mainstream news media sphere. I've also talked to a couple of other people that have some interesting thoughts. So there's more going to be coming about this, I'm sure. I do. Do you know where I can find out the details on a public notice nailed to a house door? It's not in the paper. Tweety Bird. Call me tomorrow morning. Call me tomorrow, and I'll talk to you about that. You know my phone number. I can text you. Call me tomorrow when you have a moment. Call me, and I'll help you with that. Yes, I can tell you what you need to do to get information. Give me a call. It's probably more involved than what I can tell you here, and we probably don't want to say it. We don't want to say, I don't know. I don't, without talking about it here and getting too private or whatever. So give me a call. Give me a call tomorrow and I'll help you out. We will not be live tomorrow. Thank God it's Friday. So it's Good Friday. So be good and do everything accordingly as you should. It's Good Friday. As a reminder, though, that means we will not see each other again. Oh boy, I forgot about this. We will not see each other again until Saturday. Saturday at 8:30 a.m. there is this thing in Winchester, Randolph County. Be there or be square. I was going to say we're not going to be here Saturday, but it just depends. I'll put it to you this way. You'll know at the end of this video Saturday if we'll have a live or not. If the meeting goes smoothly, we'll see you Sunday. If the meeting doesn't go smoothly, well, and wait a minute. I don't know. I'll let you know. If the meeting goes smoothly, we won't be live Saturday. So just watch the meeting. You'll know. I'll also post it on social media. And I'll also let you know we might not be here Sunday either for Easter. I'll keep you posted and let you know. With it being Holy Weekend, whatever, I'll let you know. We might not, if there's nothing that pops up, we might just come on Monday. It would be good to have a 3-day weekend. So we'll keep you posted, let you know what's going on. You guys take care. God bless each and every one of you. See you Saturday. Come to this thing. You do not want to miss this. It will be a fun event. And I'm sure it'll be amazing for everybody. We'll have lots to say and lots to do. And I'm sure we'll get lots of good answers. All right, you guys take care. God bless. Have a good evening, and we'll see you Saturday. Goodbye.